Good morning. The other day we talked about how fuel stores its energy in the molecules that make up the fuel itself. And then we talked about three ways in which you can release that energy. So first was to release the electrons to flow through a battery. Second way was with the sawdust. When you light the sawdust on fire, you combine the oxygen with the fuel to create heat, which in this case lit the sawdust on fire, or that's what was supposed to happen. The same thing happens inside the engine of your car, but at a much faster rate. So instead of burning, it explodes like this. Now, when you have an explosion inside your car, you don't want the energy to go out in all directions. You want it to go in one direction that will power the piston that drives your car. So we said that in order to unlock the energy within the gasoline, we need to add oxygen to that. So how does that happen in a car? Well, the air enters through the grill in the front of your car. It then passes through the car engine air filter because you don't want particulate matter getting into the engine. Once all the particles are removed from the air can pass down through this tube into the engine itself.
Gasoline and air mixed together form an explosive mixture. The basic job of the engine is to convert this explosive energy into motion. To contain the explosion, the engine uses a cylinder, and fitting snugly within the cylinder, a piston that slides up and down. Inside the cylinder, an electric spark ignites the compressed gasoline and air, and the hot gases from the explosion push the piston downward. The piston rod is connected to a crankshaft, which converts the up and down motion into rotary motion. The crankshaft then drives the rear wheels through various machinery, which we'll see later. For increased power and smoothness, modern auto engines have a number of cylinders driving one crankshaft. Gasoline from the tank is pumped by the fuel pump to the engine's carburetor through the fuel lines. The carburetor mixes the gasoline with air to form the explosive mixture that drives the pistons. Here's a closer view of the carburetor. A linkage connects the accelerator pedal with a valve in the carburetor. Stepping on the gas opens this valve wider, increasing the gas flow and speeding up the engine. Easing off on the pedal reduces the flow and the engine slows down. The engine's electrical system supplies the spark that fires the fuel mixture. As the engine rotates, it drives a generator which keeps the car's battery charged. The battery supplies electricity to the coil, which boosts the current to a voltage high enough to produce a spark, and then sends it through the distributor to the spark plugs located in the cylinders. The distributor distributes electrical current to the proper spark plug at the proper time. Inside the distributor is a rotor, which as it turns, touches a series of contacts, one of which is wired to each spark plug. The points open and close as the rotor turns, interrupting the current to produce the fuel-igniting spark. Here again are the major parts of the engine's electrical system: the generator, the battery, the booster coil, distributor, and spark plugs.